Guys, and welcome to this week's video. Now this week's video doesn't have a specific theme as such. I just sort of wanted to touch base and sort of let you know what's going on in my life right now and how I'm doing and what's sort of happening in my mental health world in a way. I had my first therapy session back this week after missing I think 3 weeks, and I was incredibly nervous. I think once you sort of get out of routine of going, you just get really nervous and unsure and just start to doubt how to sort of get back to that comfortable level. But within the few minutes everything was just fine. It was just that initial nervousness, and it felt so good to be back to confiding in somebody and just talking out issues that I thought was stupid or that I was upset by this for some reason and it's ridiculous. It just felt good to have that safe space where I could confide in somebody, not be judged, and just have somebody to talk to who sort of understands and is there to help me without pressing judgment. So it felt incredibly great to be back into therapy this week, and I would never in my lifetime thought I would ever say that I would be glad to be back in therapy, because therapy is hard work. I think some people think it can be quite easy because talking seems easy, but when you are talking about the hardest things and the secrets that you've kept hidden and some of the worst parts of you, it's really draining, and you come out of a therapy session so tired, so mentally drained and physically drained. Even though you've done nothing but sit in that room and talk, you literally feel like you've been in a boxing match, and you just come out and you're just totally exhausted. And it felt good to feel drained and just that I finally had talked my way through things again. So it was definitely a good thing to be back into therapy and to get back on track with staying on top of my mental health. I've had this question asked a few times and I completely forgot to sort of update anybody about it, but I think about a month or so ago I relapsed in self-harm quite badly, and I was worried that it was going to go back down onto needing self-harm for everything and sort of going back down that dangerous dark path again. And I'm not going to lie, have the feelings gone away? No. But I haven't done anything about it. I haven't self-harmed since then. But I still sort of self-harm in a safe way. Like, I do the ice cube trick a lot. I do the rubber bands on your wrist. And so that in a sense is still self-harming, but it's self-harm in a safe way that isn't gonna, let you do anything serious damage to yourself. So in that sense, that yes, I still am needing those little techniques and tricks to help me get through the overwhelming feelings of self-harm, addictiveness. But I've also managed to not go back down that deep dark path of forgetting everything that I've learned since I've self-harmed and disregarded everything and just had one relapse and gone, oh well, I've relapsed now, I might as well just do whatever I want until I feel okay again. No, I sort of stuck to my ground and decided that I wasn't going to let it push me backwards. It wasn't going to take me down into that deep hole. I was going to keep strong and move forward instead of moving backwards. So that's what I did. I sort of got out in front of it quite quickly. I accepted that you're going to relapse. It's impossible to never relapse because things happen and it's deeply ingrained in you to deal with that sort of when you have no control. And that's what happened, and I relapsed, and I can't take that back. But what I can do is make sure that I have other options now instead of going to that, and to also make sure that I deal with the feelings and talk about them rather than hold them in and let them get to a place where I need to self-harm in the first place. So on the self-harm level, I am still struggling with the addictive feelings of like, oh my god, I really need it. But I'm hanging in there by doing the ice cube trick, the rubber bands on my wrist trick, and they seem to be working enough for me. And I've also done a lot of work in therapy over these past months regarding self-harm and the way I view myself. I've done a lot of work in therapy on that, and that has helped a lot, sort of breaking down what self-harm is to me, why I need to self-harm, and why it crops up. So a combination of having a safe space to talk about all those problems, doing a lot of hard work and really deep soul searching, and talking about why self-harm is important to me, and coming up with techniques, they have sort of helped me build up a little wall where I can sort of keep up the foundation of not needing to go and self-harm by using anything dangerous. So in that sense, I'm quite proud that I've managed to not go backwards, but instead stop it there and move forwards. In other news, I still have a bad foot. I am gonna probably have it, I think the doctor said, for another 4 weeks, because she said I think it can take up to 6 weeks. So that's fun. I am not enjoying having to limp everywhere and use crutches or just be in pain, but it's just a thing you have to get used to. You know, I can't help it. I fell and this is the consequence of falling, but it's not gonna bring me down into a horrible depressive mood. Some days, yeah, I get fed up where I can't do things or I can't go out and do things, and I want to be able to do something as simple as get a drink without it taking me forever to get from one room to another. But overall, after everything I've gone through, having a bad foot is nothing compared to anything else. So it's not that big of an obstacle to get over. So that's really all that's been up with me lately. I haven't really had any big dips, but I haven't had any great amazing days either. I'm stable, which for a lot of people who don't know what sort of having a mental illness is like will probably think that sounds ridiculous and boring. But for the people that understand that, is you crave those days where you're stable and you're able to function without having a million different emotions all at once, and one minute be happy to the next be in crying and not knowing why. So to have a sort of stable mood for these past few days and to not see it dipping has been really, really great. So I'm doing well right now, and this is what today's video was. I just wanted to touch base and let you all know how I'm doing on all different levels. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye guys.